So, I am very much liking the idea of Ludacris versus Finn Balor as the pre-show match. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that button. And I'm going to go ahead and do the social media thing. Let's see.
Hoi.
Here. On running the show, did the whole social media thing. Unfortunately, I have missed half the match with the Southern King of Punchlines and the Demon. So, you know, that is deeply unfortunate. So I did see Ludacris throwing them bows, giving Finn Balor some Southern hospitality. Could be it right there. Balor's getting run over, but still hanging in there. Good for him. I gotta say, I do really like how the Def Jam edits were built out. Stand up. And still getting a shoulder off the mat. Two back-to-back blazings. That still no. All right, man. I was gonna say some stuff, but Ludacris out here proving me wrong. Like a certain Hurt dungeon graduate. Answered back with that strong kick. And Luda still has gas left in the tank. He's not getting dropped by these strikes. Yuri going up top. Coup de grace, no. Got to be it. That one is taking entirely too much. Yep. Only an 88 overall. I'm assuming Dave didn't like that Balor didn't get enough offense in. Is my best guess at why that didn't hit 4.5. It is, in fact, Too Fast and Too Furious. I think it's a great shame of mine that I have only seen, like, 4 of those movies. I don't even think Ludacris was part of the series by that point. Could be wrong. It's been a minute since I have seen anything from the Fast family of films. But yeah, we are back at it. Huh, okay, then yeah, I have forgotten basically the entirety of the second movie, if that's the case. Because I have definitely watched that movie once. I mean, I can appreciate stupid fun, make no mistake. I mean, on the subject of movies about automobile racing, I love the 1990 film Days of Thunder. I don't think it's a good movie. Alright, I'm remembering some of these things. But, let's see. It looks like I mean, certainly Probably too early to speak, but it does look like our internet's going to cooperate with us today. Hopefully the computer does as well. I'd like that a lot, personally. And once again, the pre-show match ending exactly where it is supposed to. Letting us hit the button at 7:30. Which is pretty great for me personally. So hopefully our show can kind of get timed out pretty good. We'll wrap up right as the date zone's going live. And we can call it a good night tonight. But speaking of, it is 7:30 Eastern Time. People beginning to file into Blake's House Arena. Appreciate you, Abby, being the first one at the gate. But you know what? Let's go ahead and not waste any more time. Everybody gets on their feet, make some noise for another edition of Blake's House Professional Wrestling. Hey, welcome Blake's House Wrestling fans. If you were tuned in last week, we saw Dick Boss take on Mag.Lo. Dick Boss, one of the men that Mag.Lo himself scouted to join Blake's House Professional Wrestling. A man that was tired of being ignored, tired of being out of the spotlight, inserted himself just a few weeks ago into that fatal four-way of top contenders for Josh Kaiser's title. Scored a pinfall victory over Mag.Lo. Mag.Lo calls him out. Doesn't want to let that stand, but Dick Boss standing tall at the end of the night last night, besting Mag.Lo one-on-one. Well, tonight, Dick Boss going to be teaming up with his friend from Buku City, Dougal. Going to be taking on Sterling and Terrell. You know, these three men hotly contesting that #1 contender spot. It is so very close to getting a decisive #1 contender, and this week might get us just a little bit closer. If Dick Boss can best that team of Sterling and Terrell, he will be firmly out front in that #1 spot. But let's not ignore Shawn Satchwell for the last 2 weeks, taking on members of Team Lake Mary, taking on that entire unit all by himself. Last week he bested Jordan. This week he is going head-to-head with the giant killer, Ramon. Josh Kaiser almost certainly going to be at ringside once again, but no one on Team Lake Mary seems to have an answer for Satchwell. Maybe the uncrowned king of Judgment Professional Wrestling is going to be jumping ship into that Blake's House Wrestling Heavyweight Championship division, because he seems to have Team Lake Mary's number. Well, that is not all we saw last week. Last week, Nick Vadala bringing in a team of Nick's Wrestling Organization competitors challenging for that Trios title. Nick's Wrestling Organization already holds both the Blake's House Tag Team title as well as the Judgment Professional Wrestling Chop Shop Tag Team Championship. Well, they are 3-for-3 as the team of Nick Vadala, Laz Cobb, and Matthew Knapp besting the conglomerate for King of Fighters Television Gold. We will be seeing them compete tonight, as we always do. That television championship defended every single week. And on the subject of every week, this is something you guys have missed for the past several weeks. We are once again going to see the man that has held down that squared circle longer than anyone else, the People's Champion Mag.Lo himself, bested by Dick Boss last week, but still standing tall inside that 20x20. He will be taking on any and all comers, trying to get a return to form, trying to get that same fire, that same hunger that he has always had back just after those back-to-back losses to Dick Boss. But that is not all we have got for you tonight. You can see in tonight's opening contest, Yuri the Wildcat besting Jamie Holloway last week. Well, Holloway bringing out the big guns. The monster of a man that is Shenjo, that elite striker that is Blake Cavis, going to be going head-to-head with Yuri and Sarah in tag team action. And that is going to be your opening contest tonight. So let's go ahead and get into that, and we will see the remainder of tonight's program as it develops. But let us see, can Yuri the Wildcat keep up that winning streak? He's been doing quite well in recent weeks. Possibly looking for a shot at gold of her own, but right now, the wall in front of her is truly tremendous. So let's get into that match right now. Sarah and Yuri making their way to the ring, just so fast, so tenacious, and they will need both of those attributes and then some to keep Shenjo from getting a hold of them, to keep Blake from just striking them into submission. Right now, man with arrogant swagger leading his partner into the ring. Them getting fired up. Shenjo taking on the Wildcat in the opening moments of this contest. And Shenjo already coming out strong. Massive powerbomb, but no, rolling through is the Wildcat, but Shenjo slipping out of that pinning predicament. Shenjo clearly frustrated by that opening exchange, just clubbing blow to the back, using that power advantage, using that size advantage. Big hip toss. Swinging for the fences with that lariat, and shotgun drop kick, colossal, 2 boots to the chest, but right now the Wildcat in control, but here comes Blake, changing the strategy up for his team a little bit. And that is going to send Yuri back to her own corner, and here comes a young hero, but Blake, unbothered by this switch in the dynamic here. Big European uppercut, laying Sarah out. To begin to dance just a little bit. Blake fired into the ropes and twisting head scissors, but Blake slipping out of that pinning predicament as well. It is going to be so difficult to catch these two by surprise. And a big drop kick of her own, possibly emulating her tag team partner. Thumb to the eyes, going to create an opportunity for that 1-2 punch, and the striking ability of Blake already on display, as is the spectacular feat of agility. Of course, spoke a lot about the speed, the agility of Sarah and Yuri, but Blake can absolutely match that pace. But now here comes the powerhouse. Shenjo clubbing blows, but Sarah standing tall, refusing to back down, but that stubbornness could be working against her as she's caught in that chin lock there. But now going back to her own corner as a jackhammer levels Sarah right to the mat, and Shenjo hitting his stride in a major way. Fire into that corner turnbuckle. Yuri taking just a half step too long, and that allowed Shenjo to get out of the corner and just crushing the back, the chest of the Wildcat, but only getting a count of 1. Tenacity is the name of the game for this team, and now Yuri working the legs, trying to just cut down the giant of a man that is Shenjo. Going for that brain buster, but Yuri just so technically gifted, shifting her weight, switching that up into a DDT. Kick once, twice, and she is not done with Shenjo. Big boot to the side of the head, slipping out of reach of those devastating strikes by Blake, and going for that shotgun dropkick, but Blake answering back. Turnabout is fair play, and now chop versus chop, back to back to back to back, but Yuri standing tall in the ring, getting back to her own corner as both of these individuals walk Blake down and crushing Blake with that double enziguri and a big boy senton for good measure. When in doubt, throw your body at your opponent. The man on the orange Gatorade apron, famous for saying exactly that, but seeing his partner crash down to the mat as he fails that twisting 450. Double armbar applied. And Blake struggling to get out of that hold. You can see he was stunned, just colliding with canvas off that top rope. Big chop to the chest. Looks like possibly looking for that a second time, and a big frog splash in honor of his Uncle Eddie. Did he go for the pin? No, he cannot. So he's electing to go back to his own corner, bring Shenjo into this match. Sarah doing the same, and here comes a fresh Yuri sandwich. Enziguri laying out. Oh my God, monstrous German suplex. And a back suplex for good measure. Shenjo just utilizing every bit of strength that he has got as a huge headbutt plants Yuri into the mat, and a diving elbow crushing the chest of the Wildcat, but too close to that blue Gatorade corner, and that's going to create an opportunity for this blue Gatorade team. Sarah and Yuri has Shenjo stunned, and enziguri taking the head clean off his shoulders. Yuri not done, sliding dropkick. Once, twice, and 3 times, striking him stomach, back, neck. Just a bit of a slip, just a minor miscalculation, and that is the only opening that this team needs to get back in this match, as Blake in excellent position, picture perfect frog splash too, and very nearly a 3-count fall. And Harada losing control of this match as bodies piling up in the ring. Blake chasing Yuri down, unable to cut her off, unable to break up that tag. Hold on. Sunset flip powerbomb, goes for the cover. 2, no, only getting 1. Big reverse DDT and a huge body press cover. And cravat hold locked in. Blake struggling to push the Wildcat off, finally able to do so, trying to get back to his own corner, escapes that soul butt kick, and that is going to create another opportunity for this Dark Hour unit. Right now, the young hero, big double stomp, burying boots into the chest of Shenjo. Shenjo out on his feet, but only for a moment as Emerald Flosion shades the Emerald Myth, Mitsuharu Misawa dropping the hero right on her neck twice. 3 times, stacks her up, goes for the cover, but Sarah a fingertip on the bottom rope, and that was the difference maker there. And Shenjo calling for the end, going up top. Colossal diving elbow. Is that going to be enough? He doesn't seem to think so. And again, tenacity is the word for this Blue Gatorade team. Devastating super kick answered back, roaring lariat. And Shenjo once again in the driver's seat. Shenjo just colliding with Reis in a major way. Double Enziguri going to create an opportunity for the Wildcat. It goes, it goes, it goes. Guillotine off the top, but she isn't done. And a frog splash of her own, but Blake now back to his feet. Twisting facebuster. Rolls through, cover. And colossal lung blower, but hold on, flying head scissors, and the Wildcat getting fired up. Tornad kick to the back of the head. Blake unable to protect himself. Hold on, twisting backbreaker, and Blake scrambling to get back to his own corner. No, not yet. That brief moment of indecision could cost him, as another devastating frog splash flattens Blake in that blue Gatorade corner. Sarah all set up. Big Pele kick. And Sarah just outmaneuvered by Blake. Just that little stutter step was the difference maker. It allowed him to get to his own corner, but Sarah doesn't seem to be bothered. Blake going high risk, and Yuri just tapping that top rope, causing Blake to stumble, crashing back to the mat. And hold on, Shenjo, he's got his chance. He's doing his dance, and he is taking Sarah Reis to the Space Jam. That could be it right there. Cover, 2, 3, count, fall. And where Holloway unable to get it done. Shenjo just leveling Reis with that Space Jam hold off the top turnbuckle. Just serving as a reminder how dangerous this Dark Hour unit really is. And appreciate the clip, Abby. I'll have to check that out a little bit later tonight. Let's see. Actually, I probably should have left that open there, considering who I was going to be picking next. So we spoke moments ago about the uncrowned king of Judgment Professional Wrestling. Now, certainly now, today, in May of 2021, that would be Shawn Satchwell. But the original uncrowned king, Joey Bagi, former Judgment Professional Wrestling champion, has been out of action for a little bit, and right now we're going to be getting some interstable action between JPW and Nick's Wrestling Organization as Joey Bagi takes on Nock Voldo one-on-one. Again, I believe this is another one of those matchups. Blake's House Wrestling matchmakers sees potential in. I believe this will be the first time these two have gone head-to-head in a singles contest. Nock Voldo, an enigmatic competitor, but is that just truly unpredictable fighting style going to have an answer for Bagi's super kick barrage? Well, there is only one way to find out, because that match, it's now. And Joey just taking a moment to take it all in. With all the pomp and circumstance he is so well known for. Had that long run as the uncrowned king, but he has made it to the top of the JPW mountain, and the fans have not forgotten this. There is still a lot of love for Joey Bagi Donuts, but right now, Nock Voldo making his way to the ring. Just a mountain of a human being in and of himself. But Joey, no stranger to climbing mountains, no stranger to grinding to get to the top, and starting things off with that headlock takeover. Trying to grind it out on Voldo, but Voldo able to escape the hold and fight his way back to his feet. Joey swinging for the fences with that lariat, but unable to make contact. See, Nock Voldo, ordinarily a very unpredictable fighter, being a little bit more cautious, and you have to be when you are fighting against Joey Bagi. Those kicks of his are positively lethal. This man packing dynamite, I would say dynamite in his boots, but Joey Bagi wrestling barefoot. And hold on, he is going high risk in the opening moments of this match, but big cross body taking him off the top. And a bit of a misstep. That cross body off the top rope may have stunned Joey just a little bit, and that's going to create an opening for Voldo as that face lock is applied, just cranking the neck, the back of the former JPW champion. Joey answering back, chop to the chest, and an elbow to the back of the head, and going right to that Boston Crab. That just fundamental hold, but so very effective. Right now, Joey just dominating this match, but Nock Voldo is certainly explosive himself. When he finds that opening, he is going to pick at it over the course of this match, as that jawbreaker creates a spot for him, and just grinding down the head and neck of Joey Bagi. Again, just finding whatever foothold he can get to keep Joey down. Big headbutt center of the ring, but Joey fighting his way back to his feet. And again, headlock takeover, trying to slow down Nock Voldo, trying to slow down that momentum that he's built up over the course of this contest. And that's so very uncommon for Bagi. Typically, it's the other way around. Typically, it is somebody trying to keep him from getting started, but right now, Joey fighting like he has got something to prove tonight, but a falling fist from Nock Voldo will be Voldo's answer back. Diving lariat, and hold on, sharpshooter applied. Another big headbutt from Voldo, and Voldo has Joey on the ropes, but only for a moment. A DDT out of pure instinct, going to create another opportunity as he goes right back to the legs, the lower back of Nock Voldo. Joey now has an opportunity, going high risk. Big body splash off the top. and possibly looking to go for that Boston Crab once again, but Voldo had it scouted, and again, Voldo just grinding the head, the neck of Joey Bagi, attacking it again with a headbutt, falling fist right to the forehead. Nock Voldo just looking to continue to test the neck of Joey Bagi, looking for that big power bomb to seal the deal at the tail end of this contest, but Joey is not really giving him any opportunities. Voldo applying some freaky magic, kicking him back into the corner. And a head scissors into the center of the ring, cover 2. But only gets 2. And Joey, he has had enough of that. He is calling for that elbow, goes for it, springboard, elbow drop, center of the ring, and right back to that sharpshooter, right back to targeting the legs, the knees, the lower back of Nock Voldo, beating him to the punch with that kick, and now both these men slugging it out, center of the ring. Who will come out on top? Joey, the first one to his feet, but Nock Voldo not at all far behind. Joey once again possibly looking to go high risk, but denied the opportunity as the stroke just plants him to the mat, cover 2. And that was nearly it right there. Joey answering back with a desperation cover of his own, but only gets 2. Float over DDT, and Voldo going high risk. Big frog splash off the top, cover 2. 3 count fall. And Nock Voldo, a monster of a man, reminding you why he is not to be taken lightly. And it's very funny, we have told this story time and time again. You try to keep Joey Bagi down over the course of the match, but he's just got that late match burst of energy that makes him so very dangerous, makes those kicks so very explosive. But that's not what we saw in this match. We saw Joey keeping Voldo pinned to the match for nearly 10 minutes, and Voldo just exploding in those final couple minutes and creating opportunity after opportunity for himself. Joey very nearly looking into a mirror and not liking what he saw at the end of the match. But we are going to keep this show rolling here. Oops. That is true. It is very difficult to kick with your back on the mat. It's not impossible. We saw Joey do it once. But kicking well is a different story altogether. It was. So how's it going, Nick? Appreciate you dropping in. Don't even sweat it, man. Like, hey, there is not a time limit on these things. Like, there is not specifically an angle that we need to, yeah, there's not specifically an angle that we're, like, trying to run. But also, like, yeah, that is kind of one of my goals, is to, like, start doing skits again. Because I think that would kind of break up the wrestling in fun and interesting ways. I mean, hey, I'm getting my second COVID shot this week. Which does not mean I'm gonna, like, be reckless. But also, like, hey, if some of the other Blake's House guys are vaccinated, actually getting together to record a skit or two seems like a pretty reasonable ask. But, regardless, let me see. Hey, good shit, man. Hope you didn't get beat up too bad by it. Because I have heard it is kind of a mixed bag as far as how that goes. But if you're already out and about right now, then you're probably doing pretty good. Gotcha, gotcha. Hey, we take those, man. Like, nobody wants to like, get sick from the COVID vaccine. But, hey, I will take that over COVID basically 10 times out of 10, so. But regardless, we have still got a lot of show to do tonight. And right now we can see one of those Knicks Wrestling Organization tag teams that is interested in challenging possibly for the Blake's House Tag Team Championship, possibly for the Chop Shop Tag Team Championship. Going to be taking on the Japanese connection that is Alphonso and COLBY. This Jim Jack and Studley team have built up a substantial amount of momentum, but the team standing across from them is so very dangerous. I believe Jim Jack and Alphonso have actually squared off in singles competition once before. Jim Jack besting him one-on-one, but COLBY is a bit of an X-factor. He is so dangerous late in matches. Will Jim Jack or Studley be able to put him away? Well, there is only one way to find out, because that match, it's right now. Jack and Rip Studley making their way to the ring. Right now, they are a team with everything to lose. And that is what makes this match so very dangerous for them, because they are just inches away from a tag team title shot, but Alphonso and COLBY getting a chance to just shake up the tag team rankings in a major way. I believe it is this team of Alphonso and COLBY. They have not tagged together in almost a year. Of course, COLBY famously going on that Japanese excursion long since back from that, but Alphonso also doing quite a bit of training in Japan. Both these men training with Kojima, but of course COLBY getting some pointers from the man with the cozy lariat, but Alphonso just really trying to develop that strong style that is so tremendously effective. However, Alphonso kind of struggling in his return from Japan, not really able to make a major difference in the singles division. We'll have to see if tag team wrestling is going to fare better for him. Big clubbing blow to the back. COLBY going for a bit of a cheeky cover early, but big punch to the gut. And COLBY answering back. Jawbreaker keeping up the pressure, but Studley just fighting his way back out of it. Goes for a cover of his own, but COLBY slipping out, possibly unable to get that cover fully locked in. And devastating deadlift suplex from Studley. Studley, just a premier athlete, a man that is just so physically gifted. Right now, Alphonso, Jim Jack battling it out. And Jim Jack getting the upper hand. And a flashing elbow right into the throat, but Alphonso right back to his feet. Kick to the gut, answered back with a dragon screw leg whip, and back to basics, back to those fundamental holds, and COLBY right off the apron. Jawbreaker once again, lift and drop. And Jim Jack, he has had enough. Possibly going for that DDT, that suplex onto the steel chair, but COLBY able to escape, at least for the moment. The count at 12. Jim Jack going to his own corner, but not before delivering that scoop and a slam, and that's going to create an opportunity for Studley now. Both legs trapped, grapevine across the waist. Alphonso struggling out of that hold. COLBY back in this contest, scoop and a slam, and this time it is Studley sent to the outside, but Studley going to hurry back into the ring. He saw just how dangerous that exchange on the outside was just a few moments before, and wants absolutely none of it. Hold on, double underhook and suplex into the corner. Studley in control, at least for the moment. Big Shote, but sidestepped by COLBY, and COLBY back into his own corner now. Alphonso, the legal man, but Jim Jack, Japanese style arm drag, and now just legs trapped, and it looks like this team focusing on submission holds, trying to tap out Alphonso. Big slam into the corner, and a series of wild shots, but Jim Jack not even the legal man, and Studley going to make Zoe pay for it. No, he is not. Back body drop is the answer back. Big kick to the leg, but Studley still standing tall. And both of these men just slugging it out, but Mixed Wrestling Organization so well known for cutting off the ring, and that is exactly what this team is doing. They're making sure Alphonso is so far away from his own corner, but that arm drag going to create an opportunity, going to allow Zoe to get back to his own corner. Flapjack and cutter combination, and COLBY in the driver's seat, but Alphonso, here is a parting shot for you, my friend. And a big spine buster, and you can see Studley's head colliding with that middle turnbuckle pad. And that is going to create opportunities for COLBY now. Both these individuals just slugging it out. And a forearm smash puts COLBY into the corner, but only for a moment. Hold on, big cutter will level Jim Jack, but Alphonso, he is not finished. But Jim Jack standing tall after those series of strikes, just like a human juggernaut, but a knee to the gut finally puts him down. Step over toe hold, face lock applied, and Studley coming in to assist his teammate. Fireman's carry buster flattens Jim Jack, and this time it is Mixed Wrestling Organization with a long way to go from their own corner. DDT will level Alphonso, but Alphonso rolls through right back to his feet, trying to clock Jim Jack, but unable to make contact, and that is going to create an opportunity for him to get back to his own corner and bring a fresh Rip Studley into this match. And hold on now. Devastating pile driver, but he is not done targeting the neck of Alphonso. Deadlift, gut wrench, suplex. And Alphonso getting back to his own corner. He needs a moment to breathe. Those two big head drops going to be a major difference maker, and hold on, jawbreaker applied, but a neck breaker is the answer back, and Studley trying to get this fight back into his own half of the ring, trying to get it back into that blue Gatorade corner, but having tremendous difficulty doing so. Big knee to the gut. And double underhook suplex applied, and COLBY now just down on the mat, both men scrambling to their feet. Again, COLBY just stunned, got on his feet out of instinct alone, but unable to defend himself from that wild chop. And now legs trapped, waist grapevine, and Alphonso now coming in to assist his tag team partner. And COLBY, one of the strongest lariats in professional wrestling, clubbing blow to the throat. And Alphonso going high risk, but Jimjack, hold on, stunner, 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 my God. Is that going to be it? Goes for the cover. 1, 2, and no. Rip Studley saving his tag team partner, and that is going to be absolutely crucial here as Jimjack firing Zoe into the corner turnbuckle. Forearm smash, sidestepped by Alphonso. And a colossal cutter connecting. Could Alphonso score the victory here? No, he doesn't seem to think so. Studley and Alphonso staring one another down. Pop-up cutter will connect once again. And this time it is Studley out on his feet. Able to sidestep that punch. But a belly-to-belly overhead suplex keeps Alphonso in control. And double underhook. Face buster applied. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. And Jimjack making a save at a critical moment. Double armbar applied. Just inflicting pain on Alphonso. And here comes, hold on, just another pile driver. Just testing the neck of Alphonso, going for that big lariat, but Alphonso back, get his feet back under him before that was able to connect, able to sidestep the hold, and now COLBY the legal man in this contest. And cover 2, is that it? No, no, it is not enough. It's not enough. Both men swinging for it all. COLBY has a great opportunity. Lariato! Cover 2! And no. Jimjack making a critical save as he hits that devastating powerbomb. And this Mixed Wrestling Organization team just in the driver's seat. COLBY going for the cover, but hand on the bottom rope. This match will continue. Lift and drop center of the ring. And COLBY, he has had enough of this match. He has had enough of this team. Lariato! 2, and no. Studley able to save his tag team partner. And a double axe handle just crushing COLBY on the outside.
6, 7, 8.
And Jimjack on an absolute tear right now.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
This match, absolute chaos. Harada has lost control as a punt kick just flattens Colby Cole. Both men going back to their own corners, getting a fresh Alphonso, getting a fresh, hold on, crushing lariat will connect. And devastating suplex once, twice, 3 times into the mat, cover, but only gets 1. Big neck breaker will connect, and Studley looking for an opportunity here. Looking for a way to close this match out. Big face buster applied. And he's looking like he is calling for the end, but Alphonso answering back, cutter out of nowhere. And both of these men now slugging it out. Both of these men standing tall. And a roaring elbow answered back with a big boot. But Studley just stumbling, falling to his feet, unable to pick it up. But double underhook suplex going to create another opportunity for him. but doesn't elect to go for the cover. Not yet. Pop-up cutter will level Rip Studley. And Alphonso going back to his own corner. Here comes a fresh Colby Cole. An angry Colby Cole. And big spine buster, but Jim Jack, he is not done. But pump handle slam going for the cover. 2. And no. Studley able to make the save at a critical moment. And this match, it will continue. And a flashing elbow right across the throat, but Colby scrambling to his feet, not allowing Jim Jack to capitalize. Keeping this side of the ring under control, keeping Jim Jack in his half of the ring, but hold on. Stunner, 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 connecting, but no, not going for the cover. Jim Jack now back to his own corner. Both of these teams have given so much this match. Both of these teams have given so much to one another. Magic Killer! And Colby just running slam into the center, trying to bring Studley back to his own side of the ring, but a cutter will cut him down. And a jab will just lay out Studley. Just all 4 men have got to be running on fumes, and that jab just bringing Studley to his knees was absolutely a sign of exactly that. Alphonso crushing knee strike, but Studley back to his feet. He is not done. Pop up and power bomb. This is anybody's match, but hold on. Small package bomb cover. 2. That has got to be it. No. Oh my God, I don't know how. I don't know how Alphonso found that inner strength to get a shoulder off the mat. Scissor kick will connect right in the jaw, and you can see it. You can see Jim Jack. He is bringing out holds he has never brought out before. He is perplexed at how to deal with Alphonso, but hold on. Diving headbutt. No, Alphonso rolling out of the way. Flashing elbow right to the neck, and Jim Jack scrambling to his feet. Shote! Big belly-to-belly suplex. Colby, he is calling for the end. Lariato! Cover, but no. Jim Jack there to make the save, delivering a series of strikes, testing the head and neck of Colby Cole. Backbreaker body slam, and Rip Studley wants to find the end to this match, but Colby and Alphonso just not allowing them that release, not allowing them that exit. Flapjack and cutter combination turnabout is fair play. And here comes Jim Jack flipping senton, but he's not finished yet. A second one for good measure. Can we go for 3? No, big double stomp. But Colby escaping to his own corner. Alphonso going high risk. No. Suplex is blocked. Tombstone off the top rope. And Alphonso answering back with a cutter. None of these men willing to give in. None of these men willing to give up. But Alphonso goes for the cover once again. 2. Can Colby cut him off? No, he cannot. And this match, it will continue coast to coast, but unable to seal the deal. Magic Killer will plant Alphonso. A big shot to the throat. A punt kick on top of that for good measure. And Studley did not see COLBY coming from off the apron. And that's going to create an opening for Alphonso. Or possibly an opening for COLBY. Lift and drop center of the ring. Big Bulldog will connect, and all four of these men digging deep into their arsenal, finding just something, anything that can put the other team away, and none of them seem to have it. None of them seem to have found it. That sure killing blow that will end this match. Double stomp, double stomp. And COLBY answering back. Belly-to-belly suplex, going for the cover. But only gets one. Too close. Big boot center of the ring. And COLBY possibly going for a fourth. Lariat. Oh! Cover. Two. Alphonso cutting him off. And no, it's not enough. It's not enough. And COLBY hand on the bottom rope. This match, it will still continue. Final powerbomb, and hold on. Jim Jack going up top, flying forearm smash. And leg trapped. And that is going to be it. Jim Jack submitting Colby Cole. This was a team that had everything to lose going into this match, and they fought like it. Yeah, many things happened in that wrestling match. Just a substantial amount of things. And, yeah, Abby, I would say, like, it's tough to say with the Atomic Lariat because I have seen that move critical so many times. I don't think it is fair to say it is not protected, but then you have a match like this where he hits 4 of them. And one of them is just kicked out totally clean. So who could say, is what I say to that. But coming up next, we need to figure out who will be taking on Mag.Lo in tonight's semi-main event. So let's go ahead and... Longtime viewers know how this works. We're going to be calling up 8 names to figure out exactly who is going to be challenging this Battle Royal. Who is going to be going to face the People's Champion in a Blake's House wrestling ring. I definitely had a name for this several hours ago. But crucially, that was several hours ago. So unless that comes to me... Actually, okay, now I do remember who that was. Let us see here. Let's see. Actually, let me see what colors they have for Bridget. Yeah, I was playing some Guilty Gear last night. Entirely too late. GK is next, actually. Until entirely too late last night with my friend Sloth, and Sloth was bullying me with Pink Bridget. The Duke of the Battle Royal, Frank Vista, I can absolutely make that happen. Let's see, while y'all are figuring out names, I'm going to go grab a little bit more water, because I can feel myself getting a little bit dehydrated, and we still got a lot of wrestling to get through tonight. So give me just a moment, I will be right back. See, I see Jeff Cobb. I am very okay with that name. Let's see here. Let's see. I think I have him in All Elite. I know I have a Jeff Cobb. I do in fact have Jeff Cobb. And honestly, of the three names we picked, this is exactly what I like to see in the Battle Royal. It's like, hey, you've got some real wrestlers, you've got some original characters from our show, and then you have just like random weird shit. Big fan of that conceptually. The Trios title is kind of supposed to be that also, but it has mostly been like Blake's House Wrestling television characters, or Blake's House Wrestling Universe characters, I suppose, depending on the language you want to use for that. You know what? I actually have a name I'm going to drop in there that was on the card up until like a couple minutes before showtime, and then his match got bumped. Let's see. Want to see the Cyborg? I can do that. Absolutely. Honestly, good for him. Like, hey, Cesaro, if he finally gets something in that company, that's good. I remember reading a Daniel Bryan interview where, like, he's got real ass depression. And yeah, he's really got to fucking reevaluate what he's doing with his life at this moment in his life. So I am genuinely curious, like, if he continues wrestling at all. Because I'm sure financially he doesn't need to. But I could be wrong about that. I can do that. That is no trouble at all. Let me make sure I have a Daniel Bryan. I probably do. And yet, let me see. I might not. I think I know I have one on my PS4 save. Also, damn, look at some of these names. Like, a bunch of these guys just straight up do not work here anymore. Because I built this roster in 2017. With some names added in later. Huh. I wouldn't have a Danielson either. You want to see Ron the Truth Killings? I can make that happen. I can check if, let's see. I can't imagine I'd have him elsewhere. Oh, no, I lied. Look at that. We did it. I just don't have current Bryan. He was He was probably retired when I built my roster, now that I think about it. I don't think I have Pope. My my TNA roster is like super limited. Yeah, you can kind of tell the moment where I stopped using this as a... I don't have Crayman either. I stopped using this as a thing to like play around with real wrestlers and started using it as a thing to play around with like video game characters and original characters. Which is not to say I can't download some of these people. Also no Shark Boy. I can open my like US Indie list just so you can see like who I've got on there. That doesn't have her new name yet. I'll have to see if there is an Edith Surreal edit somewhere. You want Edith Surreal? Because I am very much okay with that. All right, I think we have got our 8 names. So one of these 8 individuals is going to be challenging Mag.Lo in tonight's semi-main event. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into that match right now. And the opening moments of this match, just pure chaos. I was going to say for just a moment, watch the matchup between Jeff Cobb and the Cyborg as they are 2 absolute powerhouses. The Cyborg sending Monty packing in the opening moments of this match. Less than a minute in, we are down to 7. I believe this is going to be a first time ever for a few competitors here. I believe this is Edith Surreal's Blake's House Wrestling debut, as well as for Ron the Truth Killings. But both these individuals more than capable of making the most out of a spotlight shining on them. And hold on, Jeff Cobb very nearly dumpstering Daniel Bryan to the outside. See the wrestling machine from the year 2100, series of shoulder butts to Bridget, but Bridget able to escape at least for the moment. Mount tackle applied, but it is going to be so difficult to out-wrestle Jeff Cobb. Just a man that has so much power and so much understanding, such a great understanding of how to use leverage to his advantage. Keeping him pinned is going to be so very difficult. Getting him over the top rope is going to be a challenge as well. And big gut wrench suplex. Edith Surreal dropped to the mat. Bridget applying the crossface hold, but Ron Killings able to break that up, and right now bodies still just colliding in the ring. Colossal chop once, twice to the throat of Daniel Bryan. But the Cyborg able to escape. 3K connecting. Dragon screw leg whip, as on the left side of your screen, the Duke of the Battle Royal, Frank Vista, just having his way with R-Truth, but Truth trying to fight his way back, but no. A series of knees to the crown while he is pinned to the mat as a blazing Tornado will drive the skull of Daniel Bryan into the mat. Dragon screw leg whip will connect, but Bryan's victory short-lived as Surreal able to get behind him. Arm trapped, suplex applied, but unable to score an elimination. Suplex once, but R-Truth breaking that up right away. Olympic-style slam, R-Truth planted in the ring as the Cyborg just showcasing physical dominance among anyone he is able to do so. Rolling through, cover, but no, not even one. As Surreal able to break that pin attempt up. Shotgun dropkick applied to the face of R-Truth. Dragon screw leg whip. And right now we have an absolute classic in the making between Jeff Cobb and Daniel Bryan. As a scarf hold from Bridget applied to Surreal, but hold on. Elimination right there. Jeff Cobb has been eliminated, and he would have been my pick to go all the way. Just such a tremendously gifted athlete, but right now we are down to 6. Super kick applied. As a diving elbow from off the top rope. R-Truth Insagiri taking his head clean off his shoulders. The Cyborg having none of it. And hold on just a moment. As caught in that 85 DeLorean, we are going into the time warp, but R-Truth able to get a shoulder off the mat. And now once again a big elbow drop off the top as a series of vicious kicks from Daniel Bryan will lay Bridget out. Suplex picture perfect, planting R-Truth to the mat, but hand on the bottom rope. No, Bridget eliminated. Mount tackle blocked, but Vista, just such a gifted wrestler, able to get that advantageous position once again. A series of European uppercuts will lay out R-Truth as a shotgun dropkick applied to the face of Surreal. And blazing tornado planting the neck of Edith Surreal into the mat. And Edith Surreal taking just a moment too long to savor the moment, and that shuffle sidekick right to the head will be the answer back. Suplex blocked as an Izuna drop levels Daniel Bryan. And the Duke of the Battle Royal in the driver's seat, if only for a moment. Picture perfect dropkick will connect. A big suplex, no, unable to make the contact. One, but only one. As an STO and suplex lays out the Cyborg. The wrestling machine pinned on the mat. And a belly-to-back overhead suplex sending the wrestling machine home. And we are down to our final 4. Arms trapped, DDT connecting, complete shot, laying out. Frank Vista, cover, 3 count, fall, eliminated. Surreal hanging on in that yes lock, but who knows for how much longer. And R-Truth, Daniel Bryan's just savoring the moment, just enjoying this spot in the final 3. It is Surreal on roller skates, but able to get back into this match at least for a moment, and trapped once again in that yes lock. Devastating dropkick will lay out Bryan, and R-Truth looking to score another elimination here. 1, 2. No, it's not enough. Roaring elbow planting R-Truth to the mat. And 3 bodies down. R-Truth the first to his feet. And a devastating lariat going for the cover. 1, but only gets 1. And bodies just piling up around the ring. Despite there only being 3 competitors, this ring feels so very small. Big drop kick and roll through out of nowhere. Cover 2, but only gets 2. Lift and drop. Driving his hips. Big suplex will connect. Big elbow smash, but no, Surreal unable to capitalize. R-Truth taking a bit of a dance break in this match, but yes lock applied once again, but R-Truth breaking it up. He wants both eliminations. Maybe he doesn't know he's in an elimination match. Who could say? Whatever the case may be, R-Truth still in excellent position. Hold on, hammerlock DDT. Dragon screw leg whip. But complete shot applied from Ron the Truth Killings. Possibly going for that big diving headbutt, but no. 2, 3 count fall. Edith Surreal is eliminated. We are down to R-Truth and Daniel Bryan. It is anybody's match. Hold on, Northern Lights suplex attempted but blocked. And hold on, hammerlock suplex, but no. But on the bottom rope this match, it will continue. Hold on, yes lock, that has got to be the end. And it is. Daniel Bryan is moving on to tonight's semi-main event. And we are going to have People's Champion against People's Champion as Daniel Bryan takes on Mag.Lo in tonight's semi-main event. You gotta say, I like that Edith Surreal edit a lot. I don't think I've run a match with her yet. But let's go ahead and keep this show rolling as JB3 insisting that his enforcer get a match tonight. But we have seen once before, the Gatekeeper is not unbeatable. John Schmidt has a chance to put his name on this exceedingly exclusive list of men that have got a pinfall victory over the Gatekeeper. Well, this could be just the most arduous task of his career. As the Gatekeeper is just a monster of a man. I think JB3 wants people to remember exactly that. That Gatekeeper is just so very dangerous. Can strike anywhere, anytime. And looks like the time and place is here at Blake's House Professional Wrestling right now, because John Schmidt going head-to-head with the enforcer that is the Gatekeeper. Going to make us wait just a moment. He makes his way to the ring. Figuring out exactly how he wants to pick his opponent apart tonight. Just the level of casualness of him just walking to the ring, almost unsettling. Here comes Big John Schmidt, a man just that is a human suplex machine. We will have to see if he is able, if he is able to put those skills to good use, but the clubbing blows the Gatekeeper already driving him into the mat. But that is precisely the sort of maneuver that Schmidt needs to be executing. Those big suplexes, those big slams, just using the Gatekeeper's size against him. Clubbing blow to the back, double knee drop to the back as well, but Schmidt standing tall, unintimidated. And that is your first test when fighting someone like the Gatekeeper. If you walk to the ring and you don't think you've got a chance, you have already lost. But Schmidt, hold on. Running buckle bomb to the opposite corner. Gatekeeper right now just showcasing just immense physical prowess, but John Schmidt driving his hips, doing what he does best. Goes for an early cover, only gets a 1 count. Hold on, lift and drop. And choke applied, but the Gatekeeper breaking right out of that hold, and again, right back to that clubbing blow, that big body press, using his size to just smother John Schmidt. But right now, Schmidt just undeterred. He sees tonight as an opportunity, and he is going to make the most out of it. But again, a series of strikes, just crumbling to his knees, but answering back with that patented suplex. Lift and drop, just utilizing his size, utilizing leverage, and Big Shote taking the Gatekeeper off his feet, and that could be a wake-up call for the enforcer of Judgment Professional Wrestling. Big boot, forearm smash, but answered back. Hold on. Hanging chokehold applied, and John Schmidt just carried around like a man half his size. And that is the power of the Gatekeeper. And oh my God, backdrop transitioned right into a pile driver. And Schmidt answering back, right back to that choke, just using his size, just keeping Gatekeeper pinned down. Going for another cover, 1, 2, but only gets 2. Possibly going for that mount tackle there, but the Gatekeeper able to sidestep it, but an STO will plant him on the mat. In this match, once again, going back to that mount, and just a series of shots to the face. Schmidt going for it all, but the Gatekeeper rolling out of that hold. And hold on, he has had enough of Big John Schmidt, just folding him in half, but apparently not enough to go for the cover. And we are seeing just devastating holds from the Gatekeeper. So frustration has begun to set in. I don't think he thought that Schmidt was going to put up as much of a fight. Power bomb into Fire Thunder. And that big body press cover 2. And that was nearly it right there. And big Liger bomb. The Gatekeeper just hitting him with everything he's got. John Schmidt, you have had your fun, but we are closing the door on this match. But Schmidt still fighting it out. Belly to back overhead suplex. Gatekeeper tumbling to the outside. Schmidt is on fire. Driving hips once again. Backdrop, but Gatekeeper answering back. No, again, arms trapped, suplex, and both men just struggling on the outside. Powerbomb once. And again, Fire Thunder applied. And the Gatekeeper officially going to a draw with Schmidt, but Schmidt has been broken on the outside of the ring. And you could tell a point in that match, the Gatekeeper not interested in winning the match. He wanted to punish the man that had the audacity to challenge him. And that is exactly what he did. Yeah, honestly, both men come out of that match looking fucking amazing. So yeah, that really is the, like, kind of the best finish for that. Because Schmidt technically doesn't have a loss on his record. The Gatekeeper still gets to look physically dominant. Sometimes this video game's real fucking good. And I guess that means we're going to need to book more of both of these guys in the not-too-distant future, although I gotta imagine Schmidt's going to take next week off. Considering that Fire Thunder on the outside did just kind of crush his neck. Crush that stack of dimes he calls a neck, as Stone Cold Steve Austin would say. But, you know what, let's keep this show rolling here. Because we promised the return of Kurt London, the Judgment Professional Wrestling Champion. And additionally, we're going to be seeing him in trios action, and we're going to be seeing him going alongside this unit of this long-time Knicks Wrestling Organization trios unit of Ramos, Idolo, and Hans Hurtem. Let's see here. And they are going to be going head-to-head with the Pearlman brothers, a team that is very much interested in getting those tag team titles off of Ramos and Idolo. But we're going to get a chance to see the Knicks Wrestling Organization Tag Team Champions and the Judgment Professional Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, in some exhibition action. And that match, it is right now. This team of Ramos and Idolo is so very dominant in the tag team division. That catch-as-catch-can ability of Ramos is so tremendously effective, but looks like Kurt London directing traffic a little bit backstage. We know he is a man that likes to make an entrance. And he is wasting no time, making his way to the ring, getting himself fired out. The Pearlman brothers taking a bit of a more subdued approach. Taking their time to get to the ring. They know just how important a win tonight is. And already starting things off, Ramos beginning to just attack the arms of his opponent. He is a submission specialist through and through. And right now, Josh Pearlman just testing him, standing all alone in the ring, but Ramos picture-perfect head scissors and throwing Pearlman into his own corner. Mount applied, and Kimura hold locked in, and the submission specialty of Ramos on display. Just so gifted at grabbing a hold anywhere that he can. Bryan Pearlman answering back, lift and drop. Trying to keep Ramos pinned down. Big kick to the gut. And lift and drop once again. Ramos picking the leg, and that's going to create an opportunity to get back to his own corner. And here comes Hans Hurtem. Hold on. STO and sweep applied, and Hurtem now getting himself fired up, but taking just a half step too long. And this is the man that Judgment Professional Wrestling fans wanted to see. Here is the man that shines under, oh my God, devastating powerbomb, but Kurt London just right back to his feet. I say he's the man that no spotlight is too bright for. The man that is the current Judgment Professional Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. And it is a treat to see him in any matchup, including this exhibition six-man tag. Hold on, back switch. And roll through, cover, but only gets one. Hans Hurtem bringing in Idolo. Big powerbomb cutter combination, and that is going to be an opportunity for Idolo to test Kurt London. Now, we were talking just a moment about the tag team contest with Jim Jack and Studley versus that Japanese connection. That Jim Jack and Studley were fighting like they had everything to lose. Well, tonight the Pearlman brothers are in a very similar situation. They cannot afford a pinfall defeat to the tag team champions, but there is a reason that Idolo and Ramos have held these titles for so very long. Big belly-to-belly overhead suplex, and Hans Hurtem now in the driver's seat. Big chop to the chest. And a split-legged moonsault, going for a bit of a cheeky cover in that blue Gatorade corner, and Hans Hurtem just picking his shoulder up off the mat. Pearlman brothers doing what they do best, and that is tag team wrestling. Guillotine across the throat. And a series of forearm smashes, but Idolo possibly playing possum a little bit there. Able to get that Fujiwara armbar. And Josh Pearlman answering back with a knee drop, but Idolo, big head scissors, going to give himself an opportunity, but Pearlman shutting that down right away. But here comes the world's tallest cruiserweight, that master of that catch-as-catch-can style. A man that will pick you apart if you let him. And already going for that big headlock, but Pearlman just stretching out, getting a foot on the rope. And that is exactly what you need to do. Just be so very conscious of where you are fighting. Because look at that. Just evading that crossbody and transitioning effortlessly into that armbar. That is who Ramos is. And hold on. That standing cross arm breaker applied, but Ryan Pearlman able to slip out of the hold. And a minor miscalculation could have cost this team. And it is possible that Hans Hurtem just hasn't tagged with Idolo and Ramos in a little while, and that could be a difference maker there. Big brain buster applied, and Harada just unable to keep track of the chaos around the ring. But right now, Hans Hurtem in control. Ryan Pearlman down on the mat. Both teams making a quick tag, and once again, the workhorse of this unit in the ring, the legal man. And Ramos going high risk, double moonsault press, but big cutter will connect. And the Pearlman brothers making frequent tags to one another, trying to keep one another fresh, trying to just rest those limbs that are being targeted by Ramos, and that is so very critical. Going for a bit of an early cover here, only getting a count of one. Step of Inseguri will connect. Ramos firing Ryan Pearlman into his own corner. Going to grip an opportunity to get back to his own corner and bring Idolo into this match. And we speak about the submission prowess of Ramos, but Idolo no slouch in that respect either. Just targeting the limbs of Ryan Pearlman. Hold on, lift, but blocked. And a backstabber will connect. It's going to send Ryan Pearlman to his own corner, and here comes a fresh Kurt London, but London right now in dangerous territory. Big body press off the top. And twisting 630, but he is not done. Double moonsault once again. Idolo, that premier athlete of Mixed Wrestling Organization, just able to shut down Kurt London, at least for the moment. But here comes a fresh Hans Hurtem. Going for a bit of a cheeky cover here. 1, 2, but Ryan Pearlman making a save at a critical moment. But hold on, flash roll up out of nowhere. 2, but only gets 2. powerbomb and cutter combination, but Milan flipping through, head scissors to the center of the ring, but Pearlman right back to his feet. And here is an answer back, a head scissors of his own. And right now, sleeper hold locked in, just taking a moment to slow this Mixed Wrestling Organization unit down. And that is exactly what he needs to do. As a vicious series of strikes just level Josh Pearlman, but right now the Pearlman brothers going high risk and avalanche DDT. The Pearlman brothers just going for it all. Hold on, Izuna drop will connect, and that is the answer back this team needed. Going for a cover, but hold on. Pearlman answering back with an Izuna drop of his own. And a big boy senton center of the ring, and Idolo is stunned. Idolo going back to his own corner, but Ramos possibly looking for that Northern Lights suplex, that roll through cross arm breaker, but unable to keep that going. And Ramos, turnabout is fair play. Crossface hold locked in to the submission specialist. A dragon screw leg whip will lay him out. Going for that cover, 1, 2, and just bodies piling up. Leg picked, knee bar applied, and that is going to be it. And Devin Ramos picking up the win for his team. Ramos possibly signaling some interest in Kurt London's JPW Championship, but right now you cannot afford to overlook the hunger of the Pearlman brothers, as they so very badly want a shot at Ramos and Idolo. Yeah, I mean, that one kind of is what it is. It's like, hey, you can't really edit the characters that have the championship. Which is not to say, like, hey, there were characters that ran today that didn't have the new music, that were not champions. And that is just like, hey, these last couple weeks have been a whole lot, but we'll get there. But, yeah, let's go ahead and keep this show rolling here. As I mentioned earlier on in the program, Shawn Satchwell continuing his siege of Team Lake Mary, and tonight he takes on the Giant Killer. Josh Kaiser once again at ringside. As Shawn Satchwell besting Brandon, besting Jordan, but Ramon is a different beast altogether. Will that powder keg lariat be enough to keep Ramon's shoulders pinned to the mat? Well, there is only one way to find out, because that match, it's next. Here comes the swashbuckler, Shawn Satchwell. Man with just truly nightmarish lariats. But Ramon is a bit of an enigma. certainly inconsistent, but his accomplishments speak for themselves. The first man to score a victory over the Rapture. I believe the first man to score a victory over the Gatekeeper. He is a giant killer. But the man across from him certainly has gigantic arms and gigantic power with those clubbing blows, but we will have to see just exactly what will prevail here. Ramon rolling through, but arm drag reversing course. Big chop to the chest. Lift and drop will connect. Right now, both these men just kind of jockeying for position. Neither of them wants to overextend themselves, because Ramon fully aware of how dangerous Satchwell is, and that gut-wrench powerbomb of Ramon's so very effective. Lift and drop once again. Yeah, you could see both these men just taking their time, just being maybe a little overly cautious. They both just understand the explosive power their opponent has. Big kick to the back of the leg. And here it comes. Both of these men now just standing tall, just wild shot after wild shot, but Ramon getting the best of that exchange. And lift and drop once again. And Ramon just looking to slow down Satchwell. Patented kick to the gut, and just another clubbing blow, and those powerful arms of Satchwell just being put to good use here. Ramon answering back, just single leg crab. We've seen this Ramon before, just targeting the legs, targeting the shoulders. And targeting the shoulders of Satchwell going to be such a difference maker, because the power of that lariat is tremendous. Hold on, he has done the deal. Cover, but no. Ramon fired into the corner, but able to escape and deliver a machine gun-like series of chops to the chest. And a picture-perfect drop kick will connect. Hold on. Rolling through, stunner off the top rope. Satchwell bringing out some new tools here. Bringing out something that Ramon has almost certainly never seen before. Big shoulder block, and that could be the difference maker here. Satchwell just continuing to innovate in this space. Going to make it harder and harder to predict where he is coming from. A clubbing blow. And a second one for good measure, but Ramon just standing tall, and Satchwell's had enough of that, so he plants him on the mat himself. Over the corner turnbuckle, but Ramon fighting his way back out of it and just going to slow Satchwell down. Satchwell just controlling this match so effectively, and Ramon just doing whatever he can to suffocate that offensive momentum, but Satchwell, oh my God, powder keg lariat will connect too. But Ramon, just the most tenacious man in Blake's House professional wrestling, doing the deal. Nobody kicks out of the Falcon Arrow, but Satchwell does not have to. Foot on the bottom rope. Ramon, tougher than a $2 steak, able to get a shoulder off the mat after that powder keg lariat, but Satchwell certainly going to test his neck. Another one could be fatal. And Satchwell looking for those monstrous lariats that he is so well known for, but Ramon getting a hold of both legs, just grinding out the knees, the ankles. And devastating cross chop. Ramon getting himself fired up. And another picture-perfect drop kick will connect. And 3, 4, 5 punches right to the face. And Ramon looking for the end. And there it is, that Dr. Bomb. But no, that wasn't enough to put Satchwell away, but he has done the deal. That has got to be it. No. No, that won't do. That will not be enough to put Satchwell away. Satchwell, so tremendously hungry. He wants his shot. He wants his opportunity. And at the other side of Ramon, that just might be it. Ramon slowing things down just a little bit, but Satchwell just has the wherewithal to protect himself, even down on the mat. And this match, it will continue. Going for the cover here. 1, 2. No, it's not enough. Satchwell running out of gas here. Not enough to put him away with that powder keg lariat, but he's looking for it now. Going for that lariat. Oh! Cover. 2, 3. Count. Fall. And Satchwell winding up. He has bested all of Team Lake Mary except for one man. And the man that never got his shot in Judgment Professional Wrestling has just booked a ticket to go one-on-one with the Blake's House Wrestling Champion. Yeah, I love the hit stop on that too. Like the game will just pause and let you know how bad you fucked up by taking this lariat. I love that so very much. Like the ring shakes, the audio on that is great. Yeah, the Western Lariat, just very well animated maneuver. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put Zero in first because he's got custom music, and I think that is very cool. Let's see here. I swear you were watching last week, weren't you? Yeah, this happened last week. Unless you dipped out partway through last week's show, which is totally cool. But, yeah, right now, this Knicks Wrestling Organization stable, just dominating the tag team division. Cindy leading a team... Excuse me. Cindy bringing a team of somewhat misfits to test this Knicks Wrestling Organization unit. Cindy and David, of course, tagging together on and off for the past couple weeks, but Zero kind of trying to find himself. Not quite able to break into that upper echelons of the singles division. Has an opportunity to get to the front of the line to earn himself a belt around his waist this evening as he takes on this Knicks Wrestling Organization unit. And that match is right now. Just making their way to the ring. This is a team of Knapp, Cobb, Nick Vadala. Just so very dominant last week. Cobb, just an elite submission specialist, scoring 2 critical eliminations in last week's match. And that is not to undersell the wrestling ability of Vadala and Knapp. Both of them just classic wrestlers. Big European uppercut connecting here. And Zero answering back, knee to the gut, cutting him off and trying to bring this fight back into his own corner. Surfboard applied. Going to do whatever he can. Going for that mount tackle early as well, but Vadala had it scouted. Kamigoye will connect, but unable to capitalize further. And here comes David. Just such an enigmatic nightmare of a competitor. Really, David and Zero, 2 sides of the same coin. Both of these men able to come at you in a lot of different ways, but crucially, both of them very different ways that they want to do that. But regardless, both of them so very difficult to pin down. And that could be a major difference maker for this Blake's House Wrestling team. Knapp able to get the upper hand on David. And both of these men have a storied history going head-to-head with one another. But it's like David going back to his own corner, bringing Cindy into this match. Big pile driver will connect, but hold on, going for a second one, and it will connect, and Knapp just in control, but Cindy answering back, rolling through, but Knapp just sneaking out of the way. Shote, but Cindy unable to keep Knapp pinned down, but this right here has got to be the interesting matchup. Cinderella versus Laz Cobb, 2 catch-as-catch-can specialists. And right now, Cobb getting the upper hand in the early moments. Cindy answering back, just shoulder blocks to the arms and bringing David into this match. And hold on, picking the legs, and cross arm breaker applied to Cobb. Wild shots answered back by kicks to the gut. And big spear, Cobb just ducking out of the way, giving Knapp an opportunity to blindside David with the spear. And devastating suplex from Knapp. And right now, this Knicks Wrestling Organization unit looking so very effective. Thumb to the eyes from Knapp, or to Knapp rather. Knapp going back to his own corner, bringing Cobb back into this match as an STO and suplex hold will lay David out. Cobb going for the big boot, unable to connect with it. But a burning hammer will flatten David, and Zero now trying to pick up the pieces as this Knicks Wrestling Organization team just looking very dominant in the opening moments of this contest. Kick to the gut. Zero answering back. And right now, Zero just taking it back to basics, just keeping things simple, not giving Cobb an opportunity to utilize that submission specialization. And big super kick will connect. Zero right now. Enziguri on top of it. Just putting those educated feet to good use. But unable to keep Cobb pinned down. And that is going to create an opportunity for Vadala. And right now, sharpshooter locked in. But Cindy able to slip out. Arms trapped and suplex to that orange Gatorade corner. Crossface chicken wing applied. And forearm smash answered back with a European uppercut. And right now, both of these individuals just battling it out. Cindy getting the upper hand at least for the moment. Series of forearm smashes, and Vadala is dazed. Backslide cover, 1, 2, and gets 2. And Vadala clearly frustrated, delivering a series of European uppercuts, trying to just get the answer back, and quickly. Fisherman neckbreaker applied, going for a cover of his own, 1, but getting only 1, and David protecting his team with that foreign object. And here comes a fresh Matthew Knapp. Knapp and Zero slugging it out. Another big arm drag from Zero Lopez, going for that mount tackle, but unable to connect. But Knapp, big suplex, 2, but only gets 2. Knapp mount tackle applied. Kimura hold locked in. And Zero struggling in this hold, but barely able to escape. Devastating dropkick. That's going to send Matt to the floor. But both teams going to allow Knapp to get back into the ring. Keeping things civil, at least for the moment. And David cover out of nowhere, but only getting a count of 1. Hold on, lift, drop, center of the ring. And David calling for something here. Springboard, elbow buried into the heart of Matthew Knapp. Cover 2. And hold on. Package pile driver, goes for the cover, 1, 2, and that was nearly it right there. Roll up again, 1, 2, only getting 2. And Knapp going for that pile driver once again, and this time both aprons clearing out. David did not see Cobb and Vadala coming and trying to fight his way out of this 2-on-1 situation. Double underhook blocked. Big facebuster from Zero Lopez. Harada's count at 13. And it is just chaos in the ring. Big suplex will connect, but both teams getting fresh competitors in this match. But just how fresh can we really say that these individuals are? There was just a scramble on inside the ring and out. Destino from Zero Lopez. And both teams going all out for the first elimination. And another big drop kick from Zero here. Big Insigiri will connect. And Sambo suplex applied from Vadala, and Vadala bringing Cobb into the match. And Cobb is the difference maker. Unblockable applied, Zero in harm's way in a major way. Right now, Cobb being given a taste of her own medicine, but fighting her way out of that 2-on-1 situation, at least for the moment. Trying to get back to her own corner, or at least get back to her half of the ring. Devastating powerbomb, and again, both aprons clearing out. And hold on, what the hell has David got planned here? Powerbomb to the outside, absolutely flattening Nick Vadala. And he has brought a light tube into this match. This is a very motivated David here, as Cobb busted open by that foreign object. And the dynamic of this match has just changed. And Nick Vadala now picked open by that foreign object again. Harada going to let them fight. And David possibly looking for that pop-up powerbomb, but denied the opportunity. But there it is. Package pile driver will connect, going for the cover. 1, 2, but only getting 2. David fighting his way back to his feet, fighting his way back to his own corner, and here comes Zero Lopez. And Zero going high risk. Big diving elbow will connect, but doesn't seem to think that's going to be enough to put Vadala away, and he might be right. Destino will connect here. And Vadala fighting back. European uppercut answered back with wild right hands. And an Insigiri will lay Zero out, but Zero answering back with one of his own. And Zero in control, at least for the moment. And another Insigiri taking the head off Vadala, going for the mount tackle. Vadala stepping out of the way. And here is a fresh Matthew Knapp, the answer this team needs so very badly right now. Mount applied and just delivering a series of wild shots. Both Knapp and Zero going for that mount tackle. Neither of them able to connect with it. But Knapp going high risk. Big frog splash off the top. Is that going to be enough? Going for the cover. 1, 2. But no. Zero now going high risk. 450 splash, but Knapp able to protect himself. Get a foot on the bottom rope. Zero doing the same. Japanese style arm drag applied. Destino from Zero, as Knapp has Cindy trapped in that Kimura hold. Here comes a fresh David into this equation. And now both of these men just slugging it out. These two have fought one another for a decade now, and David getting the upper hand for the moment. Flash roll up out of nowhere, cover. 2. And Cobb making the save at a critical moment. This match will continue. 3 on 3. Lizard suplex. 1, 2. And roll up once again. 1, 2, 3 count fall, and Matthew Knapp is eliminated. We are down to 3 on 2. Tight suplex from Cindy. Cindy going high risk. And guillotine across the throat. But Vadala fighting his way to his feet. He knows how important it is to protect this title, to protect this 3-on-2, trying to even out that advantage. Big facebuster, center of the ring. Hold on, backslide cover out of nowhere, 2. 3 count fall, and it is down to 3-on-1. The game has changed. Cobb firing Cindy into the ropes. Big boot applied. And right now, just torturous arm lock applied, but unable to score the elimination. And now both members left in this match going high risk. Flying cross arm breaker, and that is going to be it. And the Princess of Blake's House pulling one out of nowhere. Tapping out the tap out artist. It was like, admittedly, I am not super excited whenever it's a sweep, but when it was 3-on-3, that was a real intense match. And that's just kind of the nature of elimination tags, is that shit cascades pretty fast. But that King of Fighters television title proving notoriously difficult to hold on to. As all 3 of the major stables briefly holding it for a short period in this past month. But hey, we have got just a little bit of show left for y'all tonight, so let us remind you exactly what is going to be going on next. It is going to be the Mag.Lo Open Challenge, and we know exactly who is going to be taking Mag.Lo on. That is going to be Daniel Bryan, the man that won the Battle Royal earlier this evening. And it is going to be People's Champion going head-to-head with People's Champion, as Mag.Lo himself taking on Daniel Bryan in that match. It's next. Mag.Lo getting himself fired up, making his way to the ring. His way to the ring to team. You can find that and more at maglo.bandcamp.com. But right now, Mag.Lo about to be tested. He is a man that is so notoriously difficult to keep his shoulders pinned to the mat. Well, Daniel Bryan has other ideas at how he wants to put someone away. That yes lock, absolutely devastating. But right now, Mag.Lo utilizing that size advantage, that power advantage. But it is difficult to keep a man like Daniel Bryan pinned down, able to flip through that suplex, stay on his feet, and still standing tall against these forearm smashes. Both these men struggling to score a significant win early on in the moments of this match. Bryan thinking he's got one with that European uppercut, but unable to get a count of 1. And Mag.Lo gut-wrench suplex applied, but Daniel Bryan rolling right through it. Daniel Bryan dumped to the outside. Mag.Lo trying to chase him, but Daniel Bryan just a half step too fast. Sliding forearm smash, but Bryan answering back, snap suplex. And a series of forearm smashes of his own, but Mag.Lo powering out of it. Suplex blocked, and a suplex of his own. But Daniel Bryan scrambling to his feet, protecting himself from further offensive efforts, but Mag.Lo still shutting Bryan down. Crossface chicken wing applied. Bryan able to slip out of the hold, and he is going to be a difficult man to keep pinned himself. Just such a master at applying and escaping holds, but Mag.Lo delivering one of the crowd's favorites. And lift and drop, and that has woken the crowd up. That patented spinning toe hold applied. And Samoan drop, and you could see Bryan's head colliding with that bottom turnbuckle. And a colossal double axe handle, and we're seeing a lot of creativity from Mag.Lo tonight, but Bryan answering back, snap suplex, trying to get himself back into this match. European uppercut, responding back with chop to the chest. But Bryan standing tall. Mag.Lo lift and drop once again. And another tight suplex from Bryan. Bryan just staying back to basics, staying with these fundamental holds that he knows he can get through. Mag.Lo answering back, patented airplane spin. And that Mag.Lo driver! But Bryan scrambling to his feet in desperation, not allowing Mag.Lo to just roll over, get that pin attempt. And this match, it will continue. Series of forearm smashes. Daniel Bryan just maneuvering around Mag.Lo, trying to find footing any way that he can. Mag.Lo answering back, Samoan drop. But he is not finished yet. Spinning toe hold, and there it is. The yes lock is applied. Mag.Lo just inches away from that bottom rope. Just can't quite make it. He's got to power out of the hold, and he does. And there is the clothesline all the way from Bretton Woods. Going for the cover. 1, 2. And, oh my God, so close. But Daniel Bryan, a man that is all heart. He is so notoriously difficult to keep down. But Mag.Lo going to find a way. Big lariat of his own. But Bryan fighting his way back to his feet. And knee to the gut shuts Bryan's attempt down. But Bryan right back in it. It's a man that will never quit as he locks on the yes lock one more time. Mag.Lo even further from the ropes this time. Just trapped in that hold, barely able to escape. And Daniel Bryan, Mag.Lo driver, goes for the cover. 1, 2, there's no way. And Bryan, he has had enough of Mag.Lo. He has had enough of this match. Yes lock applied for a third time, but Mag.Lo powering out of it. And once again, the authentic Mag.Lo driver. But even that wasn't enough to keep Daniel Bryan down. Clothesline from Bretton Woods doesn't even go for the pin. He doesn't think that's enough. Mag.Lo going high risk. Big elbow drop. Bryan rolling out of the way. Daniel Bryan with a diving headbutt. Is that going to be it? No. Bryan doesn't think it's enough. Right back to that drop toe hold. Usually floats over, goes for the yes lock, unable to apply it, but able to lock it on here. Mag.Lo trapped in this hold. You can see him stretching that leg out, trying to get to the bottom rope. He can't quite make it. Lift and drop once again, and Mag.Lo going for it all. Diving elbow drop, but Bryan foot on the bottom rope. This match, it will continue. Yes, right into the jaw. Bryan going for the cover. 2. No, that's not enough. Mag.Lo, is a third time enough? Mag.Lo, driver! Cover. 2, 3, count, fall. And Mag.Lo picking up the victory, giving it all to this match. Bryan seemed to have an answer to everything, but that third Mag.Lo driver, enough to put him away. I am going to be totally honest. I was sure that last crossface was going to do it. But here we are. But we have got just one more match for y'all this evening. Tonight's main event. As Dick Boss inserting himself into the championship picture. Just shocking the world. Pinning Mag.Lo 2 weeks in a row. Well, he's got an opportunity to score a pinfall victory against two of the highest ranked competitors in the Blake's House Wrestling singles division. In Sterling or Terrell Benjamin this evening. But let's not ignore Dougal. The absolutely sadistic striker from Buku City. Just so extremely dangerous. But we will have to see what Sterling and Terrell's answer back is to this team, this powerhouse, this team of this monstrous striker. But looks like they are going to match power with power. Sterling, a man that is all strength, and Terrell, the strongest man pound for pound in the Blake's House Wrestling division. More than capable of handling themselves against all comers. Well, we will see if Dick Boss and Dougal are among all comers, because that match, it's now. Both of these men, just a force of nature. But then again, so is Sterling. So is Terrell, for that matter. These men just so difficult to shut out, so difficult to shut down. Terrell Benjamin, the man that is all power and all heart. Then you've got Sterling, just a monster. And how fitting is it that that is going to be the opening matchup? Sterling Thomas and Dick Boss. And it is power against power. Tombstone pile driver in the opening moments of this contest. Sterling came here to fight, but so did Dick Boss. Knee to the gut, shutting Sterling out, but only for a moment, as a forearm smash brings him right back in it. Big falling fist drop. and a shoulder block applied to tremendous effect. And Dick Boss getting the upper hand, at least for the moment. Has a slight size advantage. Precision haymaker applied. And going for it all, big boy senton right across the back, and Sterling going back into his own corner, but Dick Boss, he is not finished yet. Terrell, like I said, that small stature, do not let it fool you. Near even match in terms of strength with Dick Boss. Big kick to the gut, but going for that cover just a little bit early, and oh my god, Dougal swinging for the fences with that kick. Terrell going for that big haymaker, and Dougal going for that big wheel kick, but neither man able to connect. That Tony John knee strike, but Terrell able to step out of the danger zone. Into the gut once again, and just applying punishment any way that he can. Forearm smash answered back with a sledgehammer-like left. But Dougal standing tall, and he is just such a dangerous man to get into a striking contest with, because he wins those so very effectively. Big wheel kick just crushing Terrell, but here comes a fresh Sterling. And Dougal going back to his own corner, and here comes Dick Boss once again, but Sterling has the upper hand, at least for the moment. Big clubbing blow to the back. And Sterling is doing everything he can to keep Dick Boss pinned, and that headbutt finally busting him open, but Dick Boss answering back. Death Valley driver. Knee to the gut, shutting Sterling down, firing him into his own corner. Such a dangerous proposition. But Sterling not electing to make the tag. Sterling quite literally smelling blood in the water. Finally bringing his partner into this match, and right now, Dougal fighting his way out of this 2-on-1 situation, but only for a moment. Stepping for toe hold, face lock applied, going to slow him down. Wild shot after wild shot, but Dougal keeping his hands up. And a kick to the ribs will just shut Terrell out. Dougal getting chased back into his own corner, and here comes Dick Boss. That cut on the forehead just continuing to bleed, but Dick Boss is unbothered. Crushing lariat and patented figure four, center of the ring. Terrell just doing everything he can to keep Dick Boss down. Series of forearm smashes, but that boost kick from Dougal, Terrell didn't even see it coming. Terrell rolling through and going back into his own corner. Just that kick took a lot out of him. But Sterling going to be the equalizer here. And oh my God, just positively vicious. And Sterling looking to go for two, busting both members of this team open. Going for the cover, two, but only gets two. And the crowd letting Sterling know exactly how they feel about his style of wrestling. But pole shift flosion will connect. Sterling entirely unbothered by the sounds of the crowd. And hold on, big double powerbomb will connect. And choke bomb flattens Sterling to the mat. Terrell coming in to make the save. And Sterling firing up with that monstrous lariat, bringing Terrell back into this match. And again, double powerbomb, and Terrell getting himself fired up. Hey, hey, firing him into the corner. Big Sambo suplex from Terrell Benjamin, but unable to keep Dick Boss from getting into his own corner. And Dougal so dangerous, so very deadly. Those forearm smashes are positively lethal. Dougal showing exactly why he is so dangerous. And there it is. That bazooka of a knee strike cover. 2. And Dick Boss just a little bit slow, trying to cut Sterling off. And that could have been the difference maker. As Terrell retreating to his own corner. That strike is so very deadly. Crushing blows from Dougal, and now he's got him set up. Death Valley driver, but Sterling powering through, standing right back up like it never hit him. Both of these men going for it all. Pole shift flosion connecting. Goes for the cover. 1, but only 1 as Dougal coming in to make the save. Backdrop. Uranagi. And Dick Boss going high risk, but Sterling scrambling to his feet. Sterling possibly looking for that Ushigoroshi, but Dougal had other plans. And X marks the spot on Sterling's chest, but Sterling, a tough man to keep pinned down. And there it is, Ushigoroshi. Sterling showcasing the power of his knee strikes as well as the figure 4 is locked in. Dougal trapped in this hold, but... And Sterling just jostling the top rope. Dick Boss crumbling to the mat. Terrell just doing everything he's able to do. Very nearly getting clipped by that boost kick, but able to escape, if only for a moment. Big wheel kick will connect. Backbreaker, scoop and a slam, and Terrell going high risk. And big frog splash will connect, but foot on the bottom rope, unable to secure the victory. Sambo suplex once again. And Terrell going for the cover, but Dougal getting a fingertip on that bottom rope. This match, it will continue. Series of wild shots. Dougal going back to his own corner. A fresh Dick Boss in the match. And there it is, that crushing strike to the jaw. Press and power slam. Terrell not the legal man, but sidewalk slam will shut down Sterling. And now big boy senton across the chest, but Sterling fighting his way back to his feet, answering back. Backbreaker applied. Chokehold locked in. Dick Boss trapped in this hold, but no. Dougal able to make the save, and this match will continue. Vicious series of blows, but Sterling taking this one outside. STO and suplex will connect. All 4 men outside the ring. Big double power bomb. And it is just chaos. Guillotine chokehold applied. Harada's count at 16. And Sterling able to get in the ring. Pole shift, Flosion connecting. If he goes for the cover, that's got to be it. 1, 2, and Dougal making a critical save. Sterling dropped on his neck, but rolls right through it. And bodies piling up in the ring. That's going to create an opportunity for Dougal all alone against Sterling. Or excuse me, against Terrell. And big wheel kick crushing Terrell, and that could be it right there. No, he doesn't seem to think so. Looking for that boost kick once again, but denied. Emerald Flosion crushing the neck of Dougal, going for the cover, but only getting a count of 1. Sterling making the save, but boost kick in the back of the head. That has got to be it. 2, 3 count fall. And Dick Boss just laughing and laughing and laughing as Dougal taking out Terrell Benjamin. While this picture is heating up, Dick Boss just making statement after statement to all of Blake's House finest. Shawn Satchwell quietly earning himself a shot one-on-one with the champion. Blake's House Wrestling Singles Division is in absolute chaos. But we will have to wait until next time to find out exactly where we are going from here, because that's going to conclude the main portion of tonight's program. Let's go ahead and switch to Kirk and Hall and see what we can see in the bonus match. Let me know if you see something you like on either side of the screen. While you are doing that, I am going to see if anybody is streaming right now. You want to see Ultimo Dragon? I can make that happen. He actually was wrestling last week for us. Does not mean we can't have him on again, to be 100% clear. Let's see. It does look like the date zone is live, so once we finish up, we'll go ahead and throw to them. They are playing Columns, a puzzle game I didn't know existed until last year. So I don't think it really ever got popular in America, but y'all will get to see that very shortly. But right now, we need to figure out a matchup here. I kind of like Drago. You know, if we're going to have Masked Wrestler versus Masked Wrestler. This one kind of makes sense to me. So I think that's the button I'm going to hit. So I will hit that button. Let's see here. Let us see. Alright, so that is all set. So now I'll be able to throw to the date zone after this bonus match. But I do gotta say, pretty solid show across the board tonight. Show ran a little bit long just due to so much tag team wrestling because, hey, if you can't secure a pin or submission on your half of the ring, it's going to get broken up. But, you know, is what it is there. It's also a good way to get more people on the show, is doing some six-mans and doing some mismatch team stuff. So I think that's kind of what I'm trying to accomplish with that. There's a part of me that is very amused that we went from a JB3 run team to a Nick Vadala run team to a Cindy run team as champions in the trios division. And I feel like I have to run like Admiral Funk's team in there, which like I'll do some testing and see if that's anything, because I think that team's a little bit overstated. Because I mean, like, worst case, I could rebalance it myself, because I think they're kind of floating around in the 220 overall zone, which is kind of higher than I keep most of my roster. From Drago. Lucha Underground is a series like I do kind of wish I stuck with, because it was a cool show. Got to see a lot of guys before they became like big stars on national television. They were already big stars in the indies, to be totally clear. Well, actually, I'd say Ricochet probably is less of a star now than he was when he was on Lucha Underground, actually. Because WWE fucking hates that guy. Sex Pest Joey Ryan, definitely less of a star now than he was when he was on Lucha Underground, because he is Sex Pest Joey Ryan. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it is a wrestling show, like a wrestling show-ass wrestling show. I didn't see what they did with Io Shirai, because I know she was in there for a little bit. But like, she did actually get to do something when she got signed to WWE, which is cool and good. I think wrestlers that are good at wrestling should get to do things, in my opinion. Which is kind of why I find WWE to just be, like, reprehensible as a product. Well, one of the reasons. Big handspring elbow into the corner. Didn't get to hit the big follow-up because Drago... Ooh, like that. Twisting body press of some sort. And both these guys just going for it. This is from the part of the aughts where a Canadian Destroyer was a transitional move and not a finisher. Now that'd probably be the 10s. The aughts, the Destroyer was kind of a finishing move. I do still think, like, the Destroyer is a very fucking cool wrestling move. Rolling through, 2. But not quite enough to put Drago away. All right, let's see what we got. Oh my god. Dragon Suplex, just a classic hold. I am still, like, forever irritated that in Street Fighter V, Zangief's finisher is a backdrop and Guile just has a Dragon Suplex as a, like, transitional move. That does just seem bad. Whoever the agent for those matches is, really is just doing a lousy job, in my opinion. Although maybe Zangief should have just not picked the fucking backdrop to be his finisher in, like, 2015 or whatever year that game came out. I think that is what he should have done. But, I digress. Let me get my regular sign-off going here. Because that is going to wrap us up for tonight. If you liked what you saw this evening, we typically run this every Sunday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here at twitch.tv/Ferricindy. It is a weekly episodic wrestling show, which means we do keep continuity from week to week, but I'd like to think I do a pretty good job of catching people up, making sure their first show is just as much fun as their 50th show, as their 100th show. We are coming up on episode 90 pretty soon. So we will have been doing this for 2 years in the very, very near future. Actually, we're probably past the 2-year mark at this point, considering I did have to take a month off when my computer died. So, plus, you know, various holidays and things like that. So I might actually be over 2 years. Chronologically, at least. But, yeah, we do this every Sunday night. I'm going to put a big asterisk on that. Next Sunday is a maybe. I am getting my second COVID shot the tail end of this week. if I am wiped out Saturday and or Sunday, I'm taking that week off. Because I ain't trying to do that. Like, while I am feeling sick. But we'll see where I'm at. If I'm feeling good, if I feel like writing a show Saturday night, I will write a show Saturday night is kind of where I'm at. But otherwise, hey, be on the lookout for us right here at twitch.tv/FerrisCindy, 7:30 p.m. on Sunday nights. Additionally, myself, my good friend Heavy Kira, we play NHL 20 and we have sort of a talk show on Wednesday nights right here at twitch.tv/FerrisCindy, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That is Wednesday nights. If that sounds like something you are interested in, be on the lookout for that. Additionally, there are a handful of other games I play. I keep saying there's at least 3 or 4 games I keep saying I want to get back to on stream. And someday I will. Hey, the itch to play Harebrained Schemes Battletech. It is back, so you will likely see that game at some point. That's a good video game. But I think that is going to wrap us up for tonight. I'm going to go ahead and throw y'all to the date zone. Let's see here. While they hang out and play columns. Oops. Let's see. A puzzle game that really never took off here in the United States. So we're going to go hang out over there. And we'll be back very, yeah. Hopefully see y'all on Sunday, but should see y'all on Wednesday at the very least. So catch y'all later on.
Visible timer and everything.